All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? It is Thursday, May 12th, 2022. This morning, we're going to dig into a little bit of what's going on in the world. And we're going to talk about being prepared for what's coming ahead. All indicators lead to, a pretty rough next 6, 12, 24 months, with economic challenges, things like that, supply chain issues that we all know exist. But the most important thing about all of these things going on is not what is going on around you. It is actually how you respond to that and how prepared you are to respond to that. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Good morning to you and happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having an awesome morning. This is a topic that I don't really enjoy talking about, but I do enjoy the results of when we talk about things like this. And, I've been talking about this a lot recently with the people who are close to me. Just everything that's going on in the world and the word recession being thrown around and all the economic changes. And every morning we wake up to, different news about different things that don't seem to make any sense and lead us in a direction that is not one that we want to go, right? Whether it be supply chain issues or the stock market or decisions being made on things that just don't make any sense. And so all of these indicators lead to what I think we all know is almost a foregone conclusion at this point, that we will be in some, challenging economic times. With that said, the question that I have for you guys this morning is, are you prepared for what's coming? And I don't mean, prepared for, the details of what's ahead. I'm more focused on, are you prepared mentally for what's coming? Because it's not about what happens. Everybody in the world is going to go through the same thing. It's going to be the same trying times for everyone. Those who win, those who excel during times like this, it is all about, in my opinion, the most important thing that you can do is be prepared mentally for what is ahead. And so what does that mean? For me, I sit and watch people, interact and talk about things, and they talk about, a potential recession, or they talk about, what happened in 2008 or 2001 or 1987, all of those times when, things got a little bit challenging, things got tough. The economy was not in the best scenario. And that feels a lot like where we're at right now. But I have this question for you. What opportunities are presented during times like this, and what does it take to actually capitalize on them? Well, the opportunities that exist during times like this are related to companies getting squeezed, industries getting squeezed. Everything starts to tighten up, right? And so when that happens, customers are looking for new homes. There's things shifting. There's businesses, shifting different ways in order to adjust to the conditions that exist, right? And so I ask you, how mentally clear are you on exactly where you are right now in your life, your position, and what does that look like as things develop and become challenging in the economy? Are you prepared to capitalize on those things that are ahead? That is determined by where you are mentally right at this moment and how you view, even the word recession freaks people out. The word recession for me, I don't want to say it's exciting because it's not a good time for a lot of people. And so that's not necessarily how I feel, but I do look at it as for what it is, which is an opportunity to capitalize on things that other people are not able to capitalize on. And that's how I want you guys to think about it as well. As this scenario unfolds that we are all facing, that's pretty much inevitable at this point. you will see people start to freak out, right? People start to lose their ability to focus. And if you do not lose your ability to focus, but rather you lean into this and you look for those places where you can be of service and you look to stay steady during uncertain times, people will be attracted to that. And so how are you preparing? And hopefully what you're doing on an everyday basis to improve yourself, whether it be education, the people you surround yourself with, what you're doing on a daily basis, hopefully that increases your ability to withstand the storm. And, as you increase your ability to withstand the storm, your ability to capitalize during uncertain times multiplies. And so I want you guys to think about what that looks like for you in your own life. What is it that you need to do to prepare? Is there anything that you can start doing now that can be an advantage in the very near future? Think about that. And what does it look like? How are you going to service your customers when things shift? How are you going to lead your team? How are you going to lead your family? How are you going to lead those people that are around you that are looking to you to be the steady hand that they need during uncertain times? That's the question. And so are you prepared for what's coming? A lot of people probably aren't, right? And so how you prepare right now before everything unfolds, before everything really starts to get a little sketchy. I mean, it's already, there's some areas that are already a little difficult. But what you do right now to prepare, to get clear, to evaluate everything that you've got going on in your life, in your business, and you start making smarter decisions immediately, will determine how you come out the other side of this deal. I think back to 2020 and I watched, the world around me, the people around me, and I watched everybody outside of my immediate circle. And I watched people really struggle, man. I watched people really not struggle just financially, but struggle just dealing with the situation. And so I am a believer that the mental clarity, the mental toughness, the direction that you intend to take, and you have clarity around that, is a determining factor to how successful you will be able to navigate all of this. I have a picture on my wall at home. I just ordered it for the office here in Pittsburgh that says, it has a picture of a ship going up, a boat going up, a huge wave, right? And it says, "Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor." And I encourage you guys to think about that and to really get to a point where you can accept the fact that rough waters are part of life, and rough waters really separate the good from the great. And, when you think about that, these times are the most exciting for the elite, for those people that understand how to navigate this, for those people that have their house in order the most, for those people who are poised and positioned to capitalize on these challenging times. And so I ask you, what is it that you should be doing today in order to prepare? Are you prepared? Are you prepared mentally? Are you prepared financially? Are you prepared, from the standpoint of how is this going to affect you when it happens? One of the things that you have to be prepared for is for the world around you to become uncertain, meaning the people around you are going to become uncertain. And if you are the stability and other people's instability, that will be a great thing for you. It'll be a great thing for your company. It'll be a great thing for the people around you to have that steady hand to rely on. And hopefully, if you watch this show or listen to this show on a regular basis, hopefully you learn how to use these challenging times and to look at them through a different perspective, to be there for people, to be the encouraging voice when everybody else is consuming the garbage that comes through our television, called the news, and believing exactly what they say. The word recession makes people freak out because of how it is crafted in the things that we listen to and read. Recession doesn't mean what you think it means, most likely, based on my experience and the percentage of people that think about that word and get completely freaked out by it. It does not mean what you think it means. It just means that things are a little different. It means that, there are different opportunities than there were months ago or last year. Our job as human beings, as individuals, especially as leaders in our families and our workplaces, is to navigate the ship, to use those rough seas, to become a skilled sailor, and to navigate through to the best destination that we possibly can get to. And in that process, as things change, it's the best and brightest that will end up coming out of those scenarios with the best case scenario. Some of the greatest companies in the world are created during down times. Some of the greatest situations for all of you can be created during the most challenging times. Because when you stay steady, when you can see the destination, regardless of how rough the waters get, you have an immense opportunity to capitalize during these times that are challenging. And so it is how you show up during tough times. I like to say I repeat this one all the time. Leadership is not defined by what you do when times are good. The true leader is defined in the darkest hours, in the toughest times, in the roughest of waters. That's what people will remember. And so I challenge all of you to think about that today. What is it that you need to do? Maybe it's listen, maybe you need to improve your mental toughness. Maybe you need to do some things that get you in the right frame of mind. An example of that, don't think I'm crazy. Maybe you take a cold shower every single morning and sit there in the discomfort of cold water, ice cold water in the shower, and get used to being uncomfortable. Sounds crazy, but it actually works. There are a lot of things that you can do to work on your mental toughness. Do what you say you're going to do no matter what the circumstances. If you do that, if you check those boxes every day, you will become more mentally tough. If you take the easy way all the time, you will become more mentally weak and more susceptible to times like this. So what is it that you need to improve? What is it that you need to do differently in order to put yourself, your family, your business, and everybody around you in a much better position? It's time to get focused, guys. We talk about being focused and disciplined all the time, but it is time for you to buckle down, double down, and get focused, because the time is now. The window of opportunity for us to live under normal circumstances with no outside difficulties is closing. There are going to be difficulties. How prepared are you? When you look around you, are you comfortable with the people you're about to go through that difficulty with? If you're not, that's an interesting situation. You got to figure that out. What are you going to do about it? Well, every situation is different, but this is why it's so important to make the right decisions all the time, so that when challenging times come, you're already prepared for them. You already know who's around you, that you're going to war with people you trust, that you respect, that are going to show up and do their best regardless of the circumstances. But if you don't find yourself in that situation, start thinking about how you can maneuver it. Those that are most proactive, that are most prepared during times like this, that think about all the potential difficulties, how they can navigate them, and being proactive instead of reactive, doing things up front before all of this happens, they're going to benefit the most. And so hopefully that is you. Make a list of the things that you need to do to get your house in order and start taking action on them today. I'm going to end the show by saying good morning to everybody this morning, since I didn't do it in the beginning. Rick, what's happening? Bob and Cynthia, good morning. Matt Johnson, what's happening, man? Christina, Trisha, Scott Rhodes, David Martin, my girl Tammy Clark, and Daniel Good, good morning to you guys, and thank you guys for being here. If you guys could do me a favor, Facebook is literally not showing this show to anybody for some reason. And so if you guys could share this out to your pages to be able to get some traction behind the views again, that would be really helpful. I don't ask that very often, but literally Facebook is not showing this show to anybody unless you guys share it. So that would be super helpful. And for those of you who enjoy this show, please subscribe to the to the podcast platforms. Leave a review over there on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We broadcast this live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and then it syndicates to every podcast platform that you could imagine. So if you do not catch it here live on Facebook, you can definitely go catch it over on iTunes or Google Podcasts or Stitcher, Spotify. All of those places have it. And they have every single episode that we've ever done, all 496 episodes of this show. So if you want to go back and listen while you're driving around, there's hundreds and hundreds of episodes for you to consume over there. So that's it for me this morning, guys. I will see you again tomorrow morning. Same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Get your house in order. Get ready. It's going to be a great time to go through some difficulty together. And I will be here every single morning helping you guys navigate through it no matter what happens. So appreciate you guys being here. And I will see you again tomorrow morning. Same place, same time on Morning Perspective. Love you guys. Thanks for being here.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.